made a document for you guys, and it goes through everything that you need to know on how to set up squads.
Hey, welcome to Satire Call Center. How can I not help?
Yeah, hey, I wanted to book an appointment.
Of course you do. Because I have nothing better to do than deal with this. Sure, let's waste my time. What's your name?
Yeah, it's Bob.
Okay, so, what day is it today? Is it Thursday or maybe Tuesday? Anyway, Bob, did you want a morning appointment at 4 p.m. tomorrow?
Morning, 4 p.m. Not really, no.
Oh, right, sorry. So, would you like a 3 a.m. slot on Tuesday? Or maybe it was 11 p.m. on Monday. Wait, is today Monday?
I think you're being silly. Can I talk to somebody else, please?
Hello, Bob. My sincerest apologies for that staff training exercise. Monday mornings, am I right? Could I please have your preferred date and time for your appointment?
Yeah, how about tomorrow at like 11 a.m.?
Excellent choice. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. is available. Could I get the reason for your visit, just so I can prepare your appointment correctly?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to Henrik.
Noted. Appointment with Henrik tomorrow at 11 a.m. You're all set? Thank you for your exceptional patience with our unusual staffing situation today. Enjoy your Monday.
See you, bye. As you guys saw, I wasn't using my phone for this. We'll be building this out in the web interface first, so you can just chat with it and test it within this interface right here. Or later, you will be able to set it up for outbound and for inbound with your phone number. So I've made a document for you guys, and it goes through everything that you need to know on how to set up squads. So if you just follow along, you read this and you apply the information that I've given you, you will create your production ready squad. But some disclaimers first. I want to make this very clear. The best practice still as of May 2025 is to use a single prompt agent. Squads should only be used for very specific use cases. And I'm going to go through them in a sec, but the stuff I'm going to show you, it is not for beginners. So this video is aimed more at people who know how to write and edit JSON, read and use APIs, and create their own HTTP requests. So why would you want to use squads? Well, one of the reasons is you have an extremely complex setup, or you have a very complex conversational flow that needs to be split up. And what squads allows us to do is to split this into fragments, and each fragment or agent in this particular case will be responsible for one action or one task or one thing. Just as you saw in my demo, they have the different personalities, but you need to use agents with specific languages. So let's say you want to swap from English into Arabic. At the moment, you cannot do that if you want to use one phone number. So to go from English to Arabic or like Hebrew, for example, very niche use cases, it's very difficult to set that up with just the one voice, one transcriber type setup. The only one that's possible to do with multiple languages very easily inside of Vapi is Spanish and English. You can enable a thing called code switching in there, and that will allow you to, on the fly, without even mentioning that you want to speak to someone in another language, like in Spanish, it will just swap when you speak Spanish, which is quite cool. And another reason why we want to use squads is that we want to save tokens for our agents. We actually have the possibility to remove the initial prompt that we had for our first agent that we called when it swaps to another one. So it won't like remember the full prompt from before, and we can save tokens. What are squads? AI squads are like having a team of specialized virtual assistants working together instead of one AI trying to handle everything. You can create multiple AI personalities, each with the specific skills and roles. You can think of it as like having different departments in the company. So you could have like a different agent for the sales department. You can have another agent for the delivery department. The main idea is to set up multiple AI agents or assistants, and each one of them has their own personality, job role, and description and instructions. You connect them up in a squad configuration. You define when and the current squad member transfers over to another one. when this transfer condition is met, this AI, the one that you're talking to currently, will hand off to the next one. So just like I did with my one when I asked her to, can I talk to somebody else? That's when she transferred over to the next squad member. Some use cases is one of them is qualifying leads or after they fill out a Facebook lead form, and let's say the outbound script is extremely long. You got 10 pages of a Word document that you have to go step by step in this. However, I've just left some notes in here telling you on how long this should be. GPT-4o can handle itself well up to around 1,500 words with a well-crafted prompt. I haven't tested extensively with GPT 4.1 because it only was released like less than a month ago. But it seems to be working well with around 3.5K words. So because it has a bigger context window, I think it has 1 million, and GPT 4.0 was 128K. Gemini is okay with longer prompts, but does not excel at function calling. So if you need to have like an agent that books or checks specific things, you cannot rely on Gemini to use functions properly. Okay, next one is another use case could be that patients calling into a medical clinic and it's known that multiple languages are used, or you have really big departments, specific business that you're building this for, or maybe you're doing a call center setup just like I did. How do we set up squads step by step? There are 8 steps, and within each one of those, there's sub-steps. So these first 8 steps are to create this setup within the UI. So step 1, plan out how many agents you need, split them either by language or tasks. For example, if the main agent will be in English, they can transfer to a German squad member if the user requests for it specifically. In this particular case, I would recommend in your first message to include something like, you can speak to me in German, just say the word German, because the initial agent will be in English. Or in my video, I split it up by personalities. I would plan that out, even have it on like a piece of paper or just do it in your head. So that would be the step 1, just plan out what your use case is and split it up. And then initial prompting, it doesn't have to be perfect. What you could do is you could jump into this link, and literally all I did when I created the prompts that I gave you guys below, I just came in here and just copied these. I just copied that, I threw it into Claude, and I said, hey, this is my use case. Can you create me 3 squad members the first one will be this, the second one will act like this person, and the third one will actually help me solve stuff. Step 3, you set up your agents, and I recommend making the first one with the settings you desire and then duplicating that so you don't have to like redo everything. So let's do that step together. So set up your agent and then my preferred settings. So let's then create assistant. New assistant will be, I'm going to call it a assistant. And what I would then recommend is jumping just below into my actual prompt and setup from this video. And agent 1, this is the first message we'll copy. I'm going to copy that over and just paste that right in. Great. In the provider OpenAI 4.1, I like to be about 0.6. This one's meant to be a little bit more creative and conversational, and I like it to have 120 here. We'll then publish that. Just make sure Vapi has been a bit strange with the savings of the agents recently. Then we got transcriber, Deepgram, Nova 3, voice. Damn, what were the voices? All right, so now we are in the voice tab right here. In the document, you'll notice where it says my actual prompts, voice ID. You will copy this over. Go in Level Labs, add voice manually, paste that in, and then go into 11 Flash V2, that's the quickest one, and click on Publish there. Once you've clicked on that, go down to click on Advanced and just scroll all the way down to where you see messaging. And then the server messages, just delete this, just in case you guys set up the end of call reports later. These days you might have trouble clicking on publish once this happens, so it's a bit frustrating, honestly. So I'm just gonna pause the video. I'm gonna actually update it using the APIs for now. Okay, so I just updated the assistant using the API. So you do not have to do this step. This is optional. What we need to do is click on duplicate at the top here. And we'll just rename this to B assistant and publish. Back and scroll down until we find agent 2.
The Satar call center. How can I not help?
Okay. And we just scroll down, paste all that in. I can just copy it. That works as well. And just like overwrite the previous prompt. We want to save this, go into voice, and we want to change the voice because we are using the female voice for this one. And we just paste that into there and save that. And repeat the same process for the third assistant. We're duplicating because we don't want to reset up everything from scratch. So go voice and scroll down until we find the voice ID right here. Add voice manually, add voice ID manually, paste that in and publish there. Now I'm just going to double check and just talk to every single one of them, make sure everything's good.
Hey, welcome to Saturn.
That's it.
Hey, welcome to Satar.
Is perfect. So in that, we actually did step 3 and we actually did step 4 in one go. I just want to mention a couple of things while we're in here. So we pasted in our prompts and you may have noticed I didn't paste anything into specifically into the first message. So we actually want to delete that first message in assistant B. And we want to also repeat that same step for assistant C. The reason is we want to be using silent transfers. So one of the first steps is we need to remove the first message for that. And in the prompt B and C, I have proceed directly to the task section without any greetings or small talk. So you'll notice just underneath identities are pretty much right at the start. I have that in there. Same with this one here. The reason why I'm doing that is because if you don't put that line in, it will make up a line because it's thinking like it's stepping into a new conversation. Okay, so that's step 4. Step 5 is completely optional. But what you can do is go onto these squads on the left-hand side panel right here. Go new squad. And the first member, our main one, is assistant A. Then we can click on the plus and then search for assistant B. And then link them up together like so. And then assistant C. And that's how I was gonna hook them up. So why did I do that? I wanted to show you is why I actually don't use this setup that's within the UI. So now that's created, we can go into the settings, for example. You can go on the model settings, you can do the first message, you can do the system prompt. That is very frustrating to work in here with a system prompt. Voice settings are also difficult to play with. Any of the other settings are very hard to adjust within here. So what I do then is I don't actually use this setup at all because I can't control anything nicely. We're going to create a JSON right now. And every squad configuration will have 2 parts to it. It will have the name for our squad and it will have the list of members of the squad members within this kind of JSON configurations. And we will then place our assistants within this array right here. And what it's going to allow us to do once we create this JSON, we'll then use an endpoint within Vapi to then send it over to in here. And when you click on this button, you will not be able to see these results, but they'll be like in the back end. Next thing that we need to do is this. So for this part, you'll need one tool, and this is the This is the JSON editor online. I'll paste it in below as well, but you can just quickly Google that JSON editor online. So for each assistant in your squad, you'll need 4 things. You'll need the assistant ID. You'll need to know who that assistant will need to transfer to, the assistant name, and then the descriptions of when a specific assistant should transfer over to another one. So in this particular case, we've got assistant A that's transferring over to B, and then B is moving on to C. So this is the JSON setup for this specific setup that I have in this picture. I've just called it call center 1, and I've got the assistant ID from my Vapi account. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to copy this, go into JSON editor. You could most likely use ChatGPT for it, but I actually find it's quicker for me to just copy and paste some stuff by hand. So that's why I'm saying you do need some experience with writing JSON before attempting this video. So I'll just click on a repair and we'll just remove these uh, things that I wrote here. There's little notes. I'll just click on that. And now what I want to do is go to my assistants that we created, click on assistant A, and this is going to be our main one. So the main one always goes on top where it says assistant ID. That's like the first assistant ID that you see, the closest one to the member's property. Assistant destinations. This is where you type in the name of the assistant that you wanted to transfer to. So we want assistant A to transfer to this one. I'm going to copy that name. It has to match the name perfectly. If you guys mess up like a space or the B is not a capital, it will not work. Okay, so it has to match it perfectly. This is now assistant B. So we'll now go back into Vapi, copy the ID from that assistant and paste it into here. So between the quotation marks. And in here, we'll then need to just type in, because it's literally just this one here, C assistant, and copy that ID. And this is our last one that we will transfer to. So this is agent A, transfers over to B. This is assistant B, transfers over to C. Now we grab this and we are going to use it in Postman right now. So what I'd like you to do then is open up Postman and log in, come to this part and you'll click on the little plus button right here. Then you'll change this from get to post. You'll jump into the documentation. You'll copy either this post URL, so this thing right here, or you can copy it from within here. Come back into Postman, paste that in. And once you paste that in your authorization, you'll see auth type Vapi. This is awesome because now you can just go on your Vapi account, grab your API key, and then come back here. So let's do that. Let's go into our account settings, the org settings, I believe. Then we go API keys. Then we go test. For you, might just say private key. What I would do though is create a new key and then use that. So you guys never touch like your main key ever. So in case someone steals it, you can just delete it quickly and no, you don't have to do anything crazy. All right, then we go back to Postman. Paste that in. Go on the body. Click on raw. And now this is where we paste in our thing that we created, our JSON structure. Just paste that in, and now we click on send. And now I should see, okay. So members to assistant ID must be a UUID. Then double check whether I got them right. See, 60609 is that. So 609 was meant to be the top one. That seems good. Okay. This one is 3F67. That seems right. 3F67. C assistant CD13. I think that's the one that I got wrong. Yeah. There we go. So I'm just going to now click on send, and now that should work. Yeah, that's a 201 created. So that worked. Now when we jump back into a Vapi account, into squads, you'll see call center version 1 in here. Okay. And now you can test this freely, and it's dynamic. What I mean by that is it will work. So all you have to do is come in here, change settings within this UI, and that's what's going to then affect this squad setup. So you do not have to come in here and change anything in here. You do it from within these 3 assistants within this area. So if your client wants to jump in and change stuff around, they don't have to then play around with, creating APIs and doing all crazy sorts of things. So that's why we set up the way that we did. So now let's just check whether it works. We talk to it.
Hey, welcome to Satire Call Center. How can I not help?
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to make an appointment. Can you help with that?
Of course, it's another appointment. Because I totally don't have anything better to do. Fine. What's your name? Let's get this over with.
Yeah, my name's Bob.
Oh, is today Tuesday or wait, no, Monday? Sorry, I always mix those up. Did you want a morning or afternoon appointment, or was it Wednesday you?
Actually, I'm going to hang up because what we can do is do a few more steps. So let's actually rewind a little bit. And before we, we'll have to redo the Postman setup. So we might have to come back in here and just delete this because I want to show you a few more steps. So this was the initial JSON from that picture, and it's like the basic version, right? The more complex version has these specific lines in it. It has a transfer mode, and it has the message in there is empty. So when it transfers over, it doesn't say anything at all. When you transfer over to another squad member, it's a tool call. So a tool call which has 3 parts to it. It it says something before it executes the tool call. There's something that happens during the tool call, and then it says something after. With this message, this empty string right here, we are targeting the one that's in the middle. And then with removing the swap system message in history, that helps us to remove the current prompt. Let's now append these changes. I'm going to put that on my other screen so it'll be easier for me. You guys would have to most likely do the same. I'm just going to append these changes to every single one of these. So I'm going to grab the message, go in here and just paste that into assistant destinations. And then I'm going to do that right here as well. Okay, that's them too. And then the transfer mode. For transfer modes, I would recommend looking all the way down in that document, in that Notion document. You'll see very detailed descriptions of what the transfer modes are. So I'm going to use swap system message and history, and just to basically what it does is it deletes the previous prompts and only uses the current one. Just to shortly explain that. Okay, and I think we then need to override the assistant. So we'll need to do assist overrides as well underneath this. So we go assist overrides and then first message mode, and we do repeat the same thing for the initial one just here. So where I'm placing that is where it says assistant ID, I place this right underneath that. Same with this one. That's where I placed it. Okay, so and what this will allow us to do is that the agent will then create its own model generated message. It won't say the first message, it will make up its own thing based on the prompt. Cool, I'm gonna send that again. 201 created. Now we jump back into our Vapi account, just refresh. I think I already saw it. I think it was already there. Let me go call center V1, and we just talk to that and see if it does that. Phone call now.
Yeah, what do you want? I can't believe I'm doing this again. Go ahead, say whatever you need.
Actually, I think we need to hold on. I need to change that because I think I did the assistant speech generated message for that first assistant, whereas I was meant to only do it for the last two. Yep. Let's delete that here. And then we'll come back and create it right there. That's it. Okay. Because what I actually did there is I overwrote the idea that it should you say the first message. Okay. See if it's here. Great. To call center.
Hey, welcome to Satire Call Center. How can I not help?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Can I book an appointment, please?
Of course, because I have nothing better to do than book appointments all day. Seriously, do people think I'm just sitting here waiting for this?
Yeah.
Whatever. What's your name?
Yeah, it's Bob.
Okay, so what day is today? Wait, is Sunday or Monday? My screen says something weird. What time did you want again?
I want at 2 p.m. And could you just can I just talk to somebody else quickly?
Okay, Bob, you want a 2 p.m. is
There you go. So we just now created our assistants. If you got this far and you've actually created it, let's have a drink on me or something, and then we'll come back and continue with the next setups. What you can do is you can create a phone number and you just import something from Twilio, or you can just buy a free Vapi number. That's what I did for this one. I'm just going to click on. So if you click on assistant, it will choose that assistant, and then you won't be able to select the squad. So what we need to do is deselect the assistant, go into here, and then choose choose call center V1 because that's what we called our setup. And when I call this now using my phone, so I'm just going to type in the number 857.
Hey, welcome to Satire Call Center. How can I not help?
Hey, just checking whether this phone call works.
Wow, what an exciting use of everyone's time.
Yep. So that works for inbound. So now if you want to just do outbound, you would then go into here and you would select the squad, and then you would make the outbound call like that. That's from the UI. Now, that was route number 1. Route number 2 is a bit more complex. It requires, a bit of a setup within Make and a bit of webhooks and setting up the variables within make.com. So the main idea is to use this kind of configuration. Okay, so you can download this template as well to my Notion document. There'll be like a link to my Google Drive. I'll do that after this video. It'll just be underneath Route 2. So I'll paste that link like roughly just in here somewhere, and you'll be able to download this template. This template has 2 parts to it. So it has the outbound setup and it has the inbound setup, which is the one with the webhook. So we're going to focus on that one first. So to set this up, you will download this template. You'll click on the webhook. You'll add the webhook. You'll call it whatever you want. You'll copy address to clipboard, or you can just copy this full thing here. Go in your Vapi account. Go org settings, scroll down, and in here, you just need to wait probably like anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds for this to spin back up so you can actually paste in that URL. Here it finally let me save that in. So what will happen now is for this to work, if you do not remove this call center or any assistant assigned to the number that you're calling, it will not work. Setup, it will in here, it will let make.com know that we are getting a call, and then it will then give us back the whole quad setup that we need to take the inbound call. Now, there is a big change. We have the squad setup isn't with the name anymore. So one of the steps is that we need to go back to our JSON editor, come in here, and then change this to be like that. And then you can just click on auto repair and it will just fix itself. And I'll click on that so it makes it clean. So you need it to be with squads in there. So that, squad, my bad. I'm actually going to check the documentation just to make sure I got that right. Yeah, squad. Okay. Squad. And once you're here, you will go into the, so you paste in your configuration, whatever that is. But if you're like copying exactly what I did, you can just reuse exactly the same setup that we had without actually doing anything. So what you'll then do is you'll just copy in your assistant A ID. I'm just going to go and redo all that again. So in this variable, set your variables module, you'll paste in all your assistant names and IDs. And assistant B name, it might be confusing because I've kind of named it, I kind of named it B assistant, right? Sure if it was with a capital A or it was with, yeah, it was a capital A. Assistant. Yes. There you go. And click on save. Okay. Now, I'm just going to click on immediately as that arrives and click on run once just so we can see that call happening. So let's give that. Let's give that a call now. Call, and you guys should see little ones pop up above these modules. I'm not going to talk to it because the whole point was just to show you guys that it worked. So that's the setup right there. And if you want to do outbound, you can actually do it within this scenario. You can just copy this setup and put it into another one. So what we're going to do now is discuss Route 3. Route 3 is the setup for outbound transit dynamic call. And the main idea is that we are using a HTTP request. So you have to authenticate with Vapi to do that. And I'll show you guys how to do that right now. And then we need to assign a phone number ID to this call. So when we're making an outbound call, we need to follow specific criteria. And for the outbound call configuration, which is in the documentation, we need the phone number ID and then the number. So what I've got in this HTTP module is we've got the number. We could actually get rid of the name. Don't need that. So that's the number of the person that you're calling, and then this is your phone number ID that we get from Vapi. Right, so to set that up, we will need to come into these set multiple variables module, and we'll copy over. I'm just going to copy over all the assistant IDs that I need, then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, and now I've copied over all my assistants and their names into this module. The last thing to do is to grab our phone number ID. And we do that by coming to the phone numbers and then go to the phone number that you bought. Click on here. So in this area right here, click on that, copy it, and then paste that in. And in here, you'll type in whatever number you want to call. So I'm going to just pause the video here. I'm going to fill out my number. We'll need to jump back into Vapi, go into API keys, copy the ID, jump back into our make.com scenario, click on add name. I'm going to call it Vapi2. I'm just going to delete it after this. I'm just paste in your API key from Vapi, and in here type in authorization, like so. Then we click on create, save, and now I'll click on run once and see if that works. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. What do you want? Hurry up, I've got.
Cool. I just hang up on that. I don't really want to actually talk to it at the moment. Again, just showing you guys that it works. So that was the squad calling me, and we can actually, you know, this is how we can start doing outbound calls within make.com, and then you can start iterating with things like dynamic variables within specific assistants. So you could do the assistant overrides in under this line right here. What else? So there are some more documents here on how to configure your outbound and inbound agents. So you can have an example here. You also have the docs about the silent transfers, and the transfer modes was pretty hard to find, honestly. So what I did is I discussed what those are, and rolling history, you can see by the picture here. So the next assistant, when you transfer over to another one, will remember your prompt and everything that you discussed with the user. So the conversation plus the system prompt of the previous assistant. Swap system message in history, it will only remember what you and the user said. So it actually deletes the prompt of the first assistant and then moves it on to the other one. I've got like examples here you can read more in depth. Delete history will only help it remember the prompt and nothing else. Swap system message in history and remove transfer call tool messages. So this will remember the discussion. It won't remember the prompt, but it will remember the thing that was said during the tool calls when it was transferring. So in our case, that actually won't matter because we're making them silent anyway. So it was didn't say anything. So most likely you won't use this at all. So I'm going to leave this whole Notion document below this video. You guys are welcome to use that for your own learning. If you do use it, in your own socials or videos, I can't really stop you. Please reference me, that I created it, and maybe refer people to our Voice AI bootcamp, which is in school. So the link is also below this video. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.